Howdy, cruisers. Fun fact, I can't sing. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But that doesn't matter. We can all enjoy cruise ship karaoke. If you've been following any of my vlog series for the last couple of years, you know that I do enjoy participating in karaoke. You can find a number of those videos right here on the channel. So go ahead and partake. But today, if you are interested in doing karaoke, if you've never done karaoke before, or if you are a seasoned karaoke cruisers, I have 8 tips to help you prepare to participate in karaoke on your next cruise. I'm doing these all straight through. I don't want to bother editing them, and I was just commenting somewhere else that, you know what, if I can't vamp for 5 to 10 minutes on a particular topic, then you know what? Probably shouldn't be talking about it. Anyway, all right, so tip number 1, choose a song that you know well, but not necessarily your favorite. A song that you might sing in the shower, turn up when you hear it in the car, or, you know, when it comes in on Spotify or YouTube Music or whatever, but maybe not your favorite, and here's why. We're going to get to a couple of these in later. If you know the song too well, you're going to be too much on autopilot. You got to be prepared for some deviations. If it is, after all, you know, a cruise ship karaoke, and who knows what might happen. But it is really important that you know the song, feel comfortable singing the song, and feel comfortable and confident enough performing the song, you know, in front of a crowd, because believe me, there will be a crowd. So, my advice, choose a song that you know very well, but maybe don't do your favorite song. Karaoke tip number 2, be aware of the song type that you are going to choose, especially if you are new to karaoke. You know, I try different things, so I kind of like, I don't know, I go with whatever is, you know, whatever fits my mood. But if you don't know what to choose, okay, here's 3 song types that have different effects or different consequences. That sounds very heavy, but let me just explain real quick. Okay, so I came up with like 3 different song types. 3 different song types you'll come across in karaoke. There's the rhythmic talking, which is very common among Disney musical numbers. A great example of this is Under the Sea. When Sebastian is performing, he's not really singing. He's just kind of talking rhythmically along with the music. It's very easy to perform for people that are not used to singing, or, you know, maybe no, they don't sing very well and don't want to actually sing. It's a good practice song, a good way to get into it. Then there's casual singing, kind of it's a poem that is, again, sung rhythmically, but in a very light way. A great example of this is Jolene by Dolly Parton. She doesn't really belt out the words. It's just sort of casually sung along with the melody, and is a great step up from the rhythmic talking of the Disney show tunes. And then, of course, there's finally the traditional song, which is what most people do in karaoke. This is something that you kind of do have to sing, because that's just how it's written, and it would sound pretty strange otherwise. But when you're considering these songs, you know, consider your vocal talent, ability, and what you're up for, and choose a song that actually fits, you know, what you think you'll do well performing up on stage. All right, karaoke advice number 3: practice. A great way to do this is by watching lyric videos here on YouTube. Pretty much every song that I have been practicing, in fact, I can probably say every song I've practiced, you will find a version with lyrics here on YouTube, and you just put it on and watch it a few times and sing along with it so you become familiar. It is really kind of muscle memory. This is particularly important if you're doing a new song, one you haven't really sung before, or one that you don't really know the words to. You might have heard it a few times, but you couldn't really sing it along, because while you will be able to see, we'll get to this, the screens, knowing the words, kind of knowing what to expect is very important. So watch your lyric videos here on YouTube, just so you can get into the rhythm of the song beforehand. I've been doing that with What's New Pussycat lately, and hopefully on my next cruise, that will be an option. So, number 4 karaoke tip is be ready for different arrangements. All right, this is something that, you know, I've gotten tripped up with. Everybody gets tripped up with this sometimes, because there are different arrangements of songs. You know, the verses and the bars might be slightly out of order. There might be different musical breaks. This is Again, well, I've noticed it, of course, doing the Disney tunes. There are at least 3 different arrangements of Be Our Guest floating out there. There's the original, which is the real one. There is the remake, and then there's the Broadway version. And they do have slightly different tempos and patterns, so just be aware of that, which is why, seeing the screen is important, so you kind of know where you are. But this is one of the reasons why maybe don't do your favorite song, because you might sort of blow past a reverse somewhere, and then you'll have to recover from that. So just be aware that what you pick on the list might not be the radio version, which is kind of the song that most people expect. Yes, there are different versions out there, so just be ready for it. It's not that bad. It's just karaoke, but just be ready for that. Okay, tip number 5, get there early. Yes, cruise ship karaoke is very, very popular, and the later you get, the less chance you have of actually getting on the list. This is something you might want to go, especially if you're new to karaoke, you might want to go to some of the earlier sessions to see how they do it, and then you can plan for later in the cruise. Most of the ships still, you have to go and sign up with one of the hosts, and I've seen them start half an hour before the actual event starts. Some of them, like on the Norwegian Aqua, it's automated, but they don't open the kiosk until maybe 15 minutes before. And even then, when they switch from family karaoke to adult karaoke, they wipe the list, and you got to run up there and re-sign up. So, kind of figure out the lay of the land and get there as early as you need to get on the list, because there's been times when I've signed up just before the event starts, and my number doesn't come up for like an hour. But I will say, don't do this, because, got to support the singers. But if that happens, yeah, you can leave and then come back, especially if they show the list at some point. But get there early to make sure you get your spot. Tip number 6, do a duet. Yes, many karaoke songs are duets, and if you're traveling with somebody, you can practice together. You can practice together, on the way to the cruise, in the shower, or wherever you might need to do this. But even if you're traveling solo, as I frequently do, there's often another guest that might want to do a duet with you. I have done Love is an Open Door at least twice, I think 3 times, with other guests, just randomly. And in every instance, we've both done different Disney show tunes, and then we just like, hey, you want to do a duet? And Love is an Open Door is one that they almost always have. So that usually works out. Yeah, don't be afraid to do a duet with someone you are traveling with, or one of your new cruise friends. All right, number 7. Okay, here we go. Pay attention to where the screens are. This can be very important in order to keep pace with the song. That's why I say, don't choose something that you're too familiar with, and be ready for different arrangements. Now, very often, they will have, one of the machines like right in front of you, so you can see it, or depending on how the stage is oriented, you might be able to see the big screen. However, there have been a number of occasions where this is not possible. When we were doing karaoke on MSC Seascape, they did it out by the pool, and the lyrics were only on the big screen behind you. Yes, so you either need to know your song, or basically you'd be performing with your back to the audience, looking up at the big screen. Then there was on Queen Anne, where they didn't have a little mobile unit, but they would show the lyrics on the screens around the Golden Lion, except none of them were actually facing the stage. And the only one I could see was one that was all the way in back by the window, that was facing aft, right? So you can see the side of the screen like this. Yeah, that was the best they could do. Oh, well, no, it was behind. But, well, when you perform karaoke, you do want to perform for the audience. So just keep that in mind. It's important because even if you know the song, even if you have done it a number of different times, again, different arrangements, and just seeing, the words go by helps you just keep pace with the music and everything like that. But just be aware, they might not always be in front of you, so if it is a new song and you do need to watch the lyrics, you might end up facing in some really odd angles, so you can actually see them. Finally, number 8, this is probably the most important thing to remember when you are preparing for and even performing at cruise ship karaoke. Just have fun with it. This is not a serious thing. This is not Star Search or America's Got Talent or anything like that. You're basically singing songs, your favorite song, in front of strangers on a cruise ship. It's not that big a deal. I opened this video by saying I can't sing, and I can't. Most of the people who perform karaoke, I'm right there with you, but they can't sing either. Occasionally, yes, there will be a ringer. Absolutely, has a fantastic voice, good showman, but that is the exception. And they might perform right before you. That's fine. That's fine. This is, like so many things in life, something that nobody really cares about. We're all there to have fun. So we don't really care how well or how poorly you sing. Just have fun with it, because that's what's important. Just be entertaining for everybody. We're all there to have a good time. So yeah, just don't take it seriously. Have fun. You're on a cruise. Really? Are we gonna take this that seriously? It's not the casino or muster drill. But anyway, there you go. 8. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. 8 tips for preparing and performing cruise ship karaoke. I hope you give it a try sometime. It really is super, super fun. And if you choose your song and you practice and you sign up on that list, and I'm right there with you on that list, I'll see you on board.